I've been testing out Sony's new XM4 truly wireless earbuds, and I've gotta admit that these things have blown me away in a few different areas compared to Apple's AirPods Pros that I've heard many times. And what's pretty clear to me at this point is that we're getting really close to peak earbuds, or at least what earbuds were always meant to be. And even though the XM4s aren't perfect, and I'll explain why and how in this review, they've definitely gone a long way. So before I get into my favorite features about these earbuds and why I actually think they're worth the hefty $279 price tag, I want to go back to the roots of these Sony earbuds and truly wireless earbuds in general to show you guys just how far we've come and how we got here. As we all know, wireless earbuds like this have been the standard for so long already that many of us, especially the younger generation, have forgotten how things used to be. Almost a decade ago, every single pair of earbuds were wired, and for many years, the majority of people would be buying cheap earbuds like the JVC gummies, which were considered budget at around $7 a pair. Or they'd just be using whatever came in the box with their smartphones, like the newly updated Apple EarPods that came with the iPhone 5. And then in 2013, we finally started seeing wireless earbuds like the Motorola Buds, which came with a neckband housing the battery and Bluetooth chip, with wires going up to the earbuds. And then that quickly evolved into wireless earbuds like the Jaybird Blue Buds X, which were much more compact, ditching the bulky headband, but of course, still requiring the cable connecting both sides because it was the most reliable way to make sure the audio between both ears played perfectly in sync. And then of course in 2016, Apple revealed the original AirPods with their new W1 chip that perfectly synced the audio and pushed the entire industry forward with new features like auto pause when you take an AirPod out of your ear, and the ability to just use one AirPod at a time while the other one is charging in the case, which was also revolutionary at the time. But now shifting over to Sony's part of the story, the same month that Apple released their AirPods, Sony launched their MDR XB50BS wireless earbuds for $80, which still came with a cable that rested on the back of your neck. It wasn't until the following year that Sony came out with their WF-1000X earbuds, being the very first pair of fully wireless earbuds with active noise cancellation, something that the AirPods didn't have at the time, and of course, they came with a pretty massive charging case. And on top of that, the noise cancellation apparently still sucked, barely making a difference compared to passive noise isolation. But a year later, Sony released their best-in-class WF-1000XM3s, the earbuds that held the crown for having the best noise cancellation, even better than the AirPods Pro, which were released later that year. But those new XM3s definitely weren't perfect. The charging case was still absolutely massive compared to the AirPods Pro, and they didn't even support wireless charging. The buds themselves were quite a bit more bulky, and they offered zero sweat or water resistance compared to IPX4 on the AirPods Pro. And now in 2021, we finally have Sony's brand new XM4s, and like I said in the beginning of this video, these earbuds have basically reached their peak by fixing so many of the previous issues all in one update, so let's get right into everything that's changed. First up, the charging case has been totally redesigned, now less than half the size of the previous one, allowing you to finally be able to fit it into that little mini pocket that comes on most pairs of jeans. And because of the new flat bottom, it can now sit upright and finally support wireless charging. The finish also got an update as well, with a new matte texture that's much more scratch resistant compared to the XM3s. The inside of the case now looks much more clean and modern, no longer featuring blatantly visible rectangular magnets, with them now being tucked underneath the plastic casing. And I also noticed that the magnets are now more powerful, giving you a satisfying snap when you place them in, as well as keeping them perfectly secure so they don't fall out if you drop the case. As far as the earbuds themselves, they've also been completely redesigned with a more round bulbous shape, a new matte finish, and some new design details that really make them look and feel more premium than before. And I really like how the new foam ear tips perfectly match the color and texture of the earbuds. The flashing LED light on the XM3s is now gone, which I actually prefer because it made them look a bit cheesy, and I really like how the new XM4s now sit perfectly within your outer ear instead of sticking out like the old ones do, and I'm glad they removed the Sony logo from the face, giving them a more clean look. However, I did find that this new fit isn't as comfortable as the old ones because it can sort of press against your ear, and on top of that, the new phone tips are a little bit annoying because you have to squish them each and every time you put them into your ears and then wait for the phone to expand before removing your finger. And because of all of that, these Sonys are nowhere near as comfortable as the AirPods Pro, especially since they're heavier and they don't feature a venting system to relieve pressure from the inside of your ears like the AirPods Pro have. So even though these new XM4s feature an incredible 8 hours of listening time with active noise cancellation enabled compared to 6 hours on the old XM3s and only 4.5 hours on the AirPods Pro, you absolutely cannot listen for 8 hours straight because your ears will start hurting after just a couple. But thanks to the foam ear tips, you get an incredibly good seal, which helps the XM4s achieve the best noise cancellation that I've ever heard on any earbuds, destroying the AirPods Pro and removing so much noise that I can hear subtle creaks and pops inside of my own head as I look around, instead of the blaring AC vent noise in our office, which I can't hear at all with these in. These things are literally rivaling the noise cancellation performance of the AirPods Max, which cancel almost every bit of noise on an airplane flight. And they also have an ambient mode for the times when you need to hear something or talk to someone, which you can enable by tapping the left earbud, or you can use the speak to chat feature within the Sony headphones app, which automatically switches to ambient mode when you speak, and it works surprisingly well. However, the ambient mode itself isn't the best since it introduces a bit of extra white noise, so it's nowhere near as good as the AirPods Pro's transparency mode, which basically makes it seem like you don't have anything in your ears at all, but the Sonys definitely get the job done. The touch controls work much more reliably than before, and they're fully customizable for each ear within the app, which also comes with an equalizer with easy to use controls for different frequency bands. And as far as the sound quality, I am completely blown away with these, even coming from the AirPods Pro. The high notes, even in the bright preset, which I recommend, are incredibly clean and not too sharp where they hurt your ears, which is something that I've experienced with the AirPods Pro, which unfortunately don't support EQ customization. The mids and vocals on the Sonys are just so clean and full, with not even a hint of distortion anywhere, with very impressive separation of frequencies, allowing you to hear the subtle notes from various instruments without having it all clash together like on some other earbuds. And as far as the bass, it's really enjoyable, being very deep, punchy, and tight all at the same time, being kept together nicely even while high notes are simultaneously playing. And I honestly can't say the same thing for the AirPods Pro, that do have great bass reproduction, but lack a bit of that extra bass volume that the Sonys give you. I'm honestly just extremely impressed, especially since the last up to 8 hours with noise cancellation enabled. So as far as comparing the Sony XM4s to the AirPods Pro, they outclass them in terms of the overall sound quality, the noise cancellation, and the battery life, which are 3 of the most important features for fully wireless earbuds. And on top of that, the other less important features now match up much better compared to the AirPods Pro, like getting a smaller case with wireless charging, and finally getting IPX4 water resistance. The only downsides include the Sonys being way less comfortable and not supporting multi-connect, which is a bit weird considering the last main downside, which is the higher $279 price tag compared to $250 for the AirPods Pro. But given the fact that the Pros are on sale right now for only $190 on Amazon, it does make the choice quite a bit more difficult, but I think I've figured it out. If you're an Android user, seriously just pay the extra cash for the Sonys because you won't be getting anything from the Apple ecosystem with the AirPods Pro. and the Sonys also absolutely destroy the competition, including Samsung's Galaxy Buds Pro, which I showed you guys in our recent Best Buds in 2021 video. But if you're an iPhone user, you've got to choose what you'd like more: comfort, price, and convenience with the Apple ecosystem with the AirPods Pro, or better sound quality, better battery life, and the absolute best noise cancellation. And to be completely honest, after hearing how good these Sonys are, I would probably go with these over the AirPods Pro, even though I have an Apple bias, and that says a lot about the new Sony XM4s. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and if you did, you'll find links to the best deals on these Sonys and the AirPods Pro down in the description below, and definitely click that circle above to subscribe and check out one of those two videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.